Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Now today, we're going to take some time and talk about a little anime fighter by the name of GranBlue Fantasy Versus. GranBlue Fantasy Versus, or GBVS, as it's sometimes abbreviated as, is a game based on the Japanese mobile game GranBlue Fantasy. The game is published by Xseed and developed by both Cygames and Arc System Works. This is a one-on-one fighting game with anime-style graphics, for the most part, pretty simplistic gameplay. And, like with most anime fighters, you can expect plenty of flashy moves to go along with it. Now, for any of you that have actually played Arc System Works' previous games, like say for example Guilty Gear or Blazblue, for the most part, you probably have an idea about how the fighting game mechanics work here. There are 4 main modes for this game: RPG mode, arcade, online, and training. As of right now, you can find this game physically for the PlayStation 4 and digitally for both the PlayStation Network and PC. First, we'll start by talking about the RPG mode. This really just serves as the story mode for the game in general. Now, to give people an idea of what that's about, if any of you have ever played a game like, for example, Battle Princess Arcadius, which by the way is a PlayStation Network game for the PS3 that I kind of suggest you all give a try, or maybe side-scroller beat-em-ups, the format here should be pretty familiar. The story itself is broken up into quests. In its entirety, the quests span 50 episodes and a total of 7 chapters once all is said and done. Also, optional free quests begin to open up as you actually run through the game. Upon completion, Chapter 0 and Hard Mode also start to open up. And Hard Mode is pretty much exactly as it sounds, and it's pretty much what you should expect. Tougher difficulty, greater reward loot, and overall a tougher time to complete. But it's not too hard. I mean, I've done it, and for the most part I kind of suck at the game. And if I can do it, any of you can do it. Okay, one of the cooler features for the RPG mode is that you can have a CPU player come along with you for the ride. And as you progress through the story of the game, you'll actually earn more CPU characters to aid you. And if you want, even better is that you can have an actual second player join you instead of the CPU. So now your friends don't have to just sit there and spectate while you play. Or, as we do in the modern era, you can have someone online fight alongside you instead. We'll talk more on that a little bit later. Now after each episode, you'll earn loot such as skill jewels, weapons, and premium tickets. To understand how these things are used, you'll have to understand the grid. The grid is where you create builds for your characters that you use during the course of the game. The weapons that you earn after an episode is completed are what you use to power up your character. Now, by attaching those weapons to the grid, you get a boost in things like HP, attack power, and in some cases, skills, depending on the attribute. And guys, don't be like me. I'm one of those people that actually thought that I can physically use those weapons for my characters. So you can only imagine my surprise when I found out that that's really not how it works. Now the skill jewels, those are used to power up any individual weapon of your choosing that you put on your grid. Lastly, the premium tickets are used to randomly draw weapons for your grid. So basically, the premium tickets are really just nothing more than run-of-the-mill raffle tickets. Now once you've completed episode 8 and chapter 2, you'll be able to join other people's games in RPG mode, or have other people join your game, either or. The good thing here is that you can join one another in any episode of the game from here on out. Now, for anyone that needs to understand what I'm talking about, allow me to paint a picture for you. Think about Street Fighter Alpha 1, way back in PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn day. Now for those of you that might remember, there was a secret mode in there that you would actually unlock, and it would basically allow you to reenact Street Fighter 2 the movie, specifically when Ryu and Ken fought M. Bison 2 against 1. Now imagine that, but pretty much the entire game just about. That's what you'll be getting here. Except unlike the secret mode in Street Fighter Alpha, you don't share health bars and specials, so you better believe that's a plus. Now once you get through episode 8 and that's handled and dealt with, Zero Shop now becomes available. This is where you can buy all the game's basic items. You have 4 options here: buy weapons, buy support skills, forge weapons, and lastly, buying color variants. Now buying weapons saves you from actually having to earn them through fighting. Now obviously it kind of goes without saying that the ones that you buy won't be near as cool as the ones that you actually earn. But for the most part, I guess they can tide you over, but don't expect anything good out of them. The support skills are nothing more than tweaks for your character in battle. Forging weapons is just you using items that you find to create weapons instead of actually earning them. And lastly, buying color variants is exactly as it sounds, just different color palettes for your characters. One final part we're speaking about in RPG mode would be the bonus dungeon, Tower of Babel. This mode is only available after you got through episode 26, so in other words, it's going to take a little while to actually get there. Now the best way to describe this is basically it's a tower in which you have to win fights one floor at a time until you reach the end. The higher up you get, the better reward you receive. And that was pretty much, standard in most games these days. Now, if you need a general picture for this one, just think about Mortal Kombat's classic towers. And to get through, it's 100 floors in total. Now, the only thing I see as a negative for the RPG mode is the fact that they kind of expect you to know the story of this game immediately. From what I can see, it pretty much shows that this game was really made for the person that already has knowledge of the franchise. Not to mention the lore of the mobile game. And in my opinion, to be honest, that actually does a disservice to people in the West, because as far as I can tell, the mobile game never actually left Japan, at least as far as I know. Now let's take a moment to touch on the arcade mode. This here is the standard fighting against CPU opponent that you'll find in pretty much every fighting game that's ever existed known to man. From vets to novice, everyone knows what this is. Now the game has 12 characters initially, but that number does balloon up to 25. But that's only assuming that you purchase the DLC, which is actually pretty expensive to be honest with you. So unless you're a hardcore fan, I wouldn't exactly recommend it, unless you're a completist anyway. And each character has their own self-contained story, I might add. Now to complete said story, you will have to fight through 7 matches, and for the most part that's actually pretty short, even by today's standards, and a couple of tweaks to the options can make it even easier. Now, if those 2 things aren't enough to show you how simple it is, after each and every match, you can literally change the CPU enemy's difficulty. So honestly, it really brings to light how user-friendly this game is. Now for the training mode, there's nothing much to really say. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. This mode is basically exactly what you'd expect. You pick both the character for yourself and the CPU, and that's pretty much it. This is a place where you basically practice your moves and combos to your heart's content. And if you want, actually try to master a game. But then again, that goes for pretty much every fighting game. And as per the norm, you can review the damage, combo damage, and max combo damage from here. Just like every other fighting game out there. So really, this is just about mastering the game and seeing what combos do the most damage and actually work. Nothing more, nothing less. Now mission training mode is where you'll get first-hand experience on how to actually play this game. The training is broken up into 4 sections in the glossary. Basic mission, skill practice, combo practice, and matchups are selections for training. Basic missions are literally just basic techniques that are used by all the characters in the game. Skill practice is where you'll learn how each individual character fundamentally works and their unique abilities. Combo practice, that's pretty much exactly as it sounds, which is learning how to chain combos together. And matchups, that's for learning what to do in situational combat. All these things combined are actually great prep for anyone that really wants to get serious about mastering the game. I mean, it's not too hard to play, but with all these fighting games, easy to play, hard to master. And like with every fighting game community, they get passionate and they get very, let's say hardcore and very skilled. So if you really want to compete, you need to really spend some time here. Now let's talk about the online mode. Online mode is where most players will probably get the most out of this game. Just like pretty much every other game these days in the modern era of gaming. Now there isn't really anything groundbreaking here. Everything that you would expect in a modern fighting game is pretty much what you'll find here. In the online lobby, you choose which region that you want to play in, and you go on from there. Ranked matches are just playing other players from across the globe with preset conditions. Room matches are matches that you can play and customize free of any general ranking. There isn't any real bell and whistle here. Just your basic run-of-the-mill connect and play. Now, outside of the normal ranking mode, There's also a limited time event called GBVS Blitz that you can take advantage of. This is where you can get rewards for how well you play during the game. The rewards are things like card designs and card characters to customize your online ID. You can also gain weapon tickets and renowned pendants for your hard work here. Now, for my personal verdict, overall, this is a worthwhile buy. It has nice graphics, good music, and to me personally, high replayability. Now with the newer version, GranBlue Fantasy Versus Rising coming out soon, both the normal and the collector edition of this game can be found pretty cheap. Now if you're a collector, now just might be a good time to grab that collector edition before it goes away, or goes up in price like most collector editions do. And if you're a gamer from like the old days, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now for the sake of clarity, the Legendary Edition goes on sale on PSN from time to time. The Legendary Edition itself comes with a total of 11 extra characters. So, if you're interested in the game and don't care about having a collector or physical edition, get the Legendary Edition on sale. Not to mention, the extra characters are extremely expensive on their own. Now that's our review of GranBlue Fantasy Versus. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to do better for you guys next time. Thank you and take care. Hey everyone, thanks for taking the time to stay until the end of the video. I just want to take a moment to let everyone know about our weekly and monthly giveaways. We give PSN or Amazon cards to a random member every Saturday. And at the end of the month, we give out a full-blown physical game. Now, to have a shot at winning the goods, all anyone has to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Twitch channel, or our website and leave a comment. To be fair, it's probably good that you join up to all three, you know, just to give you a better chance. Now there are times that we actually give PayPal money instead, in case we can't find a card or a game for whatever region that the winner hails from. Now, if anyone has any questions, feel free to leave a comment or, see the details at the website. Thanks everyone, and I hope you all have a great day.